Hello students, welcome to all of you once again. In previous lecture, that is projectiles lecture 5, we derived basic fundamental equations of horizontal projectile. What are the basic fundamental equations you see? Suppose this is x, y, it is initial velocity u, like this if we consider. What are the equations we derived? See once. First one, horizontal displacement xi plus yj. What it is? Xi ut into I plus half gt square into j after time t displacement. Initial velocity vector ui cap only. Final velocity vector v bar equal to vxi plus vyj, that is vx nothing but ui plus this one gt into j cap. These derivations we cleared, and resultant tan alpha equal to tan inverse of gt by u, vy by vx, that also we cleared. Next one, time of descent is nothing but time of flight, that is square root of 2h by g. Next, horizontal range u into time of descent, u into square root of 2h by g. These fundamental basic equations and parameters, equation parameters of horizontal projectile we derived in previous lecture. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see applications of horizontal projectile. Applications of horizontal projectile. So what are the applications of horizontal projectiles? One by one you see. First one, suppose this is a two-dimensional situation of horizontal projectile projected with an initial velocity u. Projected with an initial velocity u. If it was traveled like this and if it makes an angle 45 degree to the horizontal, see, its path not like parabolic like this, not like parabolic. If a projectile is projected by making an angle 45 degree to the vertical, and if it touches the ground by making an angle 45 degree to the horizontal, then at this situation, time taken by the projectile to reach the ground with this velocity it was projected. Time taken to reach the ground. Time taken to reach the ground, nothing but here this horizontal component velocity, vertical component velocity, both will be same when angle is 45 degree. This horizontal component and vertical component velocities are same after time small t. After time small t, then how much of time it will be taken to reach the ground, possible to find. Vx, what we know? Vx nothing but u. V along y nothing but gt. Therefore, t is equal to direct u by g only. U by z. Nothing but time of descent for vertical projected body. Got it? If it is making 45 degree to the horizontal, this condition important. Time taken by it is u by g. That is the first application. Second one you see. Next one. Second one. Suppose this is a projectile, horizontal projectile projected like this. It will be traveled like this parabolic path. If we consider like this straight line, if we take, if it makes 45 degree, this is called LOS, line of sight, we called it as line of sight. Along LOS, if you consider the motion, suppose you consider this is H, this you consider it as some R, horizontal range. Height of the projectile like this, horizontal range like this, If it is 45 degree, automatically this one also 45 degree. You consider OAB, then it seems to be a triangle like this. This one, where it is 45 degree related, this is 45 degree, here H, here capital R. Okay, so tan 45, how we can write tan 45? H by R, 1 is equal to H by R, therefore H is equal to R here. For the angle 45 degree, height to range both are same, first point. Second point, horizontal and vertical displacements also same. Horizontal displacements previously, velocity, final velocity, horizontal displacement is equal to vertical displacement. So horizontal displacement x you consider, vertical displacement y you consider. X nothing but what we derived, u into t, y nothing but half g t square. So t here square cancel, t is equal to 2u by g. T is equal to 2u by g. In this situation, to reach the ground, time taken tu by g. Previous situation, time taken to reach the ground, t equal to u by g only. In this situation, 2u by g. Okay. Previous u by z. And resultant magnitude also, this you consider. Resultant magnitude also possible to find. Resultant magnitude, S is equal to square root of h square plus r square. So it is possible to write root 2h or root 2 into r because both are same. Because both are same, possible to write root 2h or root 2r. Suppose this velocity is some 10 meter per second, then what is the time taken? 2 into 10 by 10, it will be taken 2 seconds in this situation. Time taken to reach the ground is 2 seconds only. What is the resultant displacement? Root 2 time of height, if you consider 40, then root 2 into 40 meter, resultant displacement. Okay, line of sight related, time taken to reach the ground, 2u by z, and height to range both are same. Resultant displacement root 2 times of h, right? This is the second application of horizontal projectile. And the next application is, all these applications are deriving by using these fundamental basic parameters. Next application you see, suppose this is a tower of height h1 you can see. This is a tower of height h1. And here another tower is there. Its height you consider it as h2. First tower of height to capital H1, second tower of height to capital H2. Now, one of the projectile is projected with velocity u from its top of first tower. Here you consider h1 greater than h2. From its edge, one of the horizontal projectile is projected. Actually, what we know, this is the path of this projectile. To reach on the second top of tower, how much of horizontal displacement it should travel means r nothing but. The distance between these two nothing but r. And this height, how we know that height? h1 minus h2. Got it? h1 minus h2. In parabolic path, finally, how we can draw this one? This resultant height to finally h1 minus h2. From this projectile is projected. It was fallen on the ground. This is the range. So, time of descent or time of flight, what is the actual formula? 2 into h root 2h by g. That is square root of 2 into h nothing but h1 minus h2 by g. This is the time of flight. Next, this is time of flight. Next one, horizontal range. Horizontal range, capital R equal to U into square root of 2 into H1 minus H2 by G. This is the horizontal range. So two types of models are possible here. First model, by giving the initial velocity, will it reaches on the ground on the surface of second tower or not? If the range greater than the given value, then it falls. See, suppose here same 20 meter per second, a projectile is projected. Initial tower of height 40 meter, this tower of height 30 meter. Okay, if it's a range, you consider it as nearly some 40 meter only range, distance between these two towers. Will it safely lands on the next tower or not? The question is, will it safely lands on the next tower or not, or will it falls? So, if our finding value are 40 meter fixed, by using this formula, if you found the value u, initial velocity 20, square root of 2 into h1 minus h2, 40 minus 30 divided by g, take it as 10. Then r is equal to 20, here 40 minus 30, 10 gets cancelled, 20 root 2. 20 root 2 nothing but 20 into 1.414 into 2. Then 8 here 2, 8 here. Okay, 2.88 means 28.28 meter only. But the distance between these two towers, what it is? 40 meter. With our given data, how much of distance is possible here by this projectile? 28.8 only. So, the projectile falls in between two towers. Theoretically also possible to find. In between two towers, it will not safely reach us on the second, will be falls in between these two at a distance of 28.28 meter from the first tower. Got it? This is the first model. Second model, how it will be, what is u he will give, with how much of velocity should the projectile will be projected to reach safely on the second tower. Then by using this data, we should find u here. If we use 20, it is not falling on that. With how much of velocity required? See this one, range he gave, range how much of value? 40 is equal to u into square root of, this we simplified already, how much we got? U into root 2 we got, u equal to 40 by root 2, then u equal to 20 into root 2 by root 2. So with how much of velocity? 20 root 2 nothing but 28.28 meter per second. If you project 28.28 meter per second, this projectile, it will be safely land on the second tower. If the velocity less than this one, it will not falls on the second tower. Got it? Two models you understand. First model, he will give the velocity and will it safely reach us or not, theoretically. Second model, how much of velocity required for the projectile to reach on the second tower. That is the second model. Okay. Next application you see, next application, staircase model. Staircase model. Staircase nothing but suppose like this. Number of steps are there. This is the ground, steps like that. Consider, let n steps are there. N steps totally. Here 3 only we drawn, n steps are there. This you consider breadth of each step B, height of each step H. H is equal to height of each step. B is equal to breadth of each step. H equal to height of each step, B equal to breadth of each step. Suppose a ball is started from this with velocity u, it was travelled like this, reached to the ground. Then how many number of steps are there, he will ask. By giving the data of height and breadth and initial velocity, to reach the ground, how many number of steps it was covered. So here the motion you observe, motion along breadth moving like horizontal projectile, to its height moving like vertical projectile, again horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. So its motion is representing in 2 dimensions. First you see along horizontality, along horizontal. Along horizontal, initial velocity u equal to u only. Acceleration we know 0. Displacement you see, displacement to b like that. N steps are there, nb. N steps are there, nb. Suppose you consider after time small t. Okay. Now which equation is there? From equation S equal to ut plus half at square. S nothing but nb equal to ut plus 0. So nb equal to ut. This is the horizontal displacement covered by the ball. Next, along vertical you see. Along vertical. So along vertical, this ball travels like a freely falling body because motion started along horizontal only. Along vertical, it's like freely falling body. So initial velocity 0. Okay. Acceleration moving downward plus z. Displacement you see h like that. N h. Time same. Small t at the same time. Now from equation S equal to ut plus half at square, nh is equal to 0 into t plus half gt square, nh is equal to half gt square. This is the vertical displacement by the ball. This is the horizontal displacement by the ball. It is the vertical displacement by the ball. Therefore, from equation 1, in place of t, possible to write t equal to nb by u. Substitute here, nh is equal to half g into t square, nothing but n square b square by u square. Okay, n here square gets cancelled. What remains? 2h u square is equal to gnb square. Therefore, number of steps it was travelled, n is equal to 2h u square by gb square. Number of steps it was travelled, n is equal to 2h u square by gb square. Not only number of steps, any term if you ask also, it is possible to derive. Suppose same example you see, example model. This is the concept. Example model, if this ball is travelled with an initial velocity same 20 meter per second, breadth of each step some 20 centimeter, height of each step 30 centimeter, then how many number of steps it was travelled to reach the ground? Breadth 20, height 30 centimeters again. G as usual 10 meter per second. Question will be like this. In a staircase, Number of steps are there. Breadth of each step 20 centimeter. Height of each step 30 centimeter. If a ball is started with an initial velocity 20 meter per second from the top of step, to reach the ground, how many number of steps it was traveled? Simple. First you convert the 20 centimeter, 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 meter. This h also 3 into 10 to the power minus 1 meter. Then n is equal to 2 into h value 3 into 10 to the power minus 1. U square 20 square nothing but 4 into 10 square 400 I am right. 20 square nothing but 400, 4 into 10 square. G is 10 into B square 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 whole square there. 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 whole square means 4 into 10 to the power minus 2. Okay, 4 gets cancelled. Here n is equal to, see this one, here 10 power 1 means 1 minus 2 minus 1. 10 power 1 minus 2 nothing but 10 power minus 1. This 10 power minus 1 gets cancelled. 2 3s are 6. 6 into 10 square. That is 600 steps it was travelled to reach the ground. It is also one of the application of horizontal projectile. So n is equal to 2h u square by g b square. So it is next application. Number of steps also possible to find. Initial velocity also possible to find. Breadth of each step or height of each step, any term is possible to find. Okay. Next application is suppose this is an aeroplane. One aeroplane is moving in a it is moving at certain height h from the ground with a velocity u, horizontal velocity u. One of the aeroplane is moving. Okay, suppose if any stone or if any object, if any foot packet, like that words will be in the questions, if any foot packet was dropped from this aeroplane at that instant, if any foot packet was dropped from that aeroplane at that instant which is at a height of h, this is the foot packet. So actually it seems to be, and that foot packet is also started with an initial velocity along horizontal. Got it? See this sentence. Aeroplane is moving with an initial velocity u along horizontal at certain height from the ground. Suddenly one foot packet was dropped from that aeroplane. Okay. When it was dropped means it was not at rest. It is moving with an initial velocity u of same velocity of aeroplane. Initially it is not at rest. When it was dropped means, according to our concept, it was started with an initial velocity u along horizontal, and if the aeroplane is moving like this in its forward direction, like this aeroplane moves in its forward direction, it also travels like this and falls on the ground. See, here the very important theoretical points. First point, by the pilot of an aeroplane, the foot packet journey seems to be like a freely falling body. This sentence you see carefully. Actual path is what it is, parabolic. Actual path parabolic, but by the pilot who is inside the plane, inside the aeroplane, he seems to the packet like a freely falling body, because If it traveled to this position, it appears. When it comes, it appears. When it comes, it appears. When it comes, appears. When it comes, it appears. When it comes, it appears, like that. So, at any location, it seems to be like a freely falling body. First point. Second point, suppose a person is on the ground. A person is on the ground. So, he seems to the foot packet like this. It was dropped at this location and its path seems to be like a freely falling body by the pilot. On the ground, a person is there. It was dropped like this. When he observed like this, when he observed like this also, by the person who is on the ground, sees the foot packet like parabolic path. Theoretically important, this one. If a foot packet dropped from an aeroplane, that foot packet will falls on the ground in parabolic path actually. But if the pilot observes its motion, it seems to be like freely falling body, like this vertical motion. If a person who is on the ground seems to be like a parabolic path, then from the dropping instant to this one, we called it as horizontal range, x equal to u into t actually. U into t nothing but height of that plane initially. Okay, theoretically remember, by the pilot, what I am saying, it falls like a freely falling body. And this horizontal range on the ground, nothing but distance travelled by the aeroplane when it touches the ground also same. Along horizontal, distance travelled by the aeroplane when the foot packet touches the ground also same. X equal to ut u. Suppose question will be like that. From a this is an aeroplane. From this an aeroplane, a foot packet was dropped when the plane is moving with 100 meter per second. A foot packet was dropped. If a person who is on the ground observes this foot packet, then how much of horizontal distance travelled? Or when it touches the ground, how much of distance covered by the plane? Both are same. Substitute this x equal to u into u nothing but 100 square root of 2 into this, you consider it as some height of 10 meter. Actually aeroplanes 10 meter very smaller quantity, 5 kilometer height you consider. 5 kilometers. Generally planes also moves nearly 5 kilometer height from the ground. 5 kilometer means 5 into 10 cube meters by 10. 5 2s are 10. So here 100, this 10 cube nothing but root 10 cube. How we can write? 10 root 10. So another 0 root 10 meters in meters. Kilometers, if you write 10 root 10 kilometer, it will be travelled along horizontal. Got it? So this is also horizontal projectile related points. Okay. Now, so till now one projectile only we projected from certain height horizontal. Suppose if you take two projectiles, see, next application, this is a tower of height h you consider. This is a tower of height h. From this, a projectile is projected in this direction with velocity u1. Another projectile is projected upward with u2. Then its resultant velocity, what it is? U equal to square root of u1 square plus u2 square. Then time taken nothing but root 2h by z. Then if it reaches this one also like this, x is equal to u into t actually. This horizontal displacement x equal to u into t. U nothing but what it is? U. Square root of u1 square plus u2 square into t. Okay. Clear the concept. So initially suppose along directions related, if you say east, west, north, south, along eastwards 4 meter per second a projectile is projected, towards north 3 meter per second a projectile is projected, then after time 2 seconds how much of horizontal displacement it will be covered? Simply square root of 4 square plus 3 square into 2 seconds. Square root of 16 plus 9 into 2, root 25 into 2, 10 meters it will be traveled. Okay. For the two projectiles, when they are projected perpendicular to each other. Okay. This point clear? And one more you see, next application, very important, this one also. The situation you consider. Situation. If two horizontal projectiles, with velocities u1 and u2, with velocities u1 and u2 are projected mutually in opposite directions. In opposite directions from a height of tower h. This is the situation. Remember this point. Two horizontal projectiles with velocities u1 and u2 are projected opposite direction from a tower of height. Or this concept also said to be in another form. If a bomb at rest explodes into, if a bomb is at rest at certain height h from the ground, and if it explodes into two pieces and traveled in opposite direction. See, this is the situation. Both conditions are same. Both conditions. Diagrammatically see, suppose this is a tower of height h you consider. This is a tower of height h. Suppose a bomb is at rest initially. It was exploded into two pieces. One of the piece is traveling towards eastwards. Another piece is traveling towards west with velocity u. Got it? Condition you got? From the rest, bomb is exploded, divided into two pieces. One is in eastward, one is in westward. That means mutually opposite in directions. Okay. Then conditions. First condition, the time after which their velocities are perpendicular to each other. the time after which their velocities are perpendicular to each other. Initial velocities we know, u1 only, u2. I am not asking that. After how much of time their final velocities vectors are perpendicular. Actually its path you observe, its path will be like this, its path will be like this, parabolic path. Suppose its final velocity at any location v1 you consider, its final velocity at any location v2 you consider. Suppose v1 here, v1 v2 both are perpendicular, he is asking. v1 v2 both are perpendicular, he is asking like this. If it is v1, if it is v2, if its angle is 90 degree, to become angle 90 degree between these two, how much of time it will take in terms of u1 and u2 we should derive. Clearly you got? Sentence you cleared? Yes. So vector form related we should derive. This is the v1 bar, this you consider v2 bar. In vector form, actually the condition is v1 bar dot v2 bar is equal to 0. That only. If the dot product of two vectors are 0 degree, then what we can say? Both are perpendicular to each other. In vectors we know p bar dot q bar is equal to pq cos theta. If theta is equal to 90 degree, then p bar dot q bar is equal to 0. That's reverse only I am saying. If the vector scalar product of two vectors is 0, then both vectors are perpendicular to each other. That only reverse I am conditioning. Where these two are perpendicular means when these two products are 0, scalar product is 0, then both are becomes perpendicular to each other. So v1, v2 we should find after time t. After t seconds, v1, how we can write? v1, v for horizontal projectile we derived, v equal to u minus gt. So u1i minus gtj, or you take plus only because moving it downward, plus u1i plus gtj. Okay, next. So sorry, minus 1. Next v2 also with respect to this minus u2i. See this minus u2i, why I am taking u1 u2 both are in opposite direction. Vector form we are representing. This is positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis. So minus u2i minus gt j cap. According to the condition, this product is 0. v1 bar dot v2 bar equal to 0. v1 bar u1i minus gtj dot minus u2i minus gtj equal to 0. So ii only, jj only multiply. u1 into minus u2 I dot I 1 minus into minus plus g into gt whole square is equal to 0. It will be minus u1 u2 plus g square t square minus u1 u2. So g square t square is equal to u1 u2, t square is equal to u1 u2 by g. Therefore t is equal to square root of u1 u2 by g. Got it? Both are perpendicular to each other. After how much of time that final velocities are perpendicular to each other means square root of u1 u2 by g. For the same question you see, u1 consider some 10 meter per second, u2 consider some 20 meter per second. Then after how much of time their final velocities vectors are perpendicular, nothing but square root of 10 into 20 divided by 10, then 10 root 2 by 10 equal to 1.414 seconds. Very simple. 200 we get, 100 if it comes outside, 10 root 2 seconds. After root 2 seconds both are perpendicular to each other. Clear? Okay, next. We both are perpendicular after u1 root u1 u2 by g. Suppose both are not mutually in opposite directions, both are projected with an angle theta. If both are projected with an angle theta. So if both are projected with an angle theta, then for the same situation we get t is equal to square root of u1 u2 by g into cot theta by 2. This is the formula for any angle. This is for 90 degree we derived. For any angle this is the formula. Substitute there. 90 substitute cot 90 by 2 cot 45. Cot 45 1. Then we get that formula. Suppose for angle given it has some 60 degree he gave. 60 degree. Substitute there. Square root of 10 into 20 by 10 into cot 60 by 2. Cot 60 by 2 nothing but cot 30. Cot 30 it becomes root 2 into cot 30. What it is? Tan 30 opposite to. That is root 3. Becomes root 6 seconds. Here. For any angle cot theta by 2. So for any angle t is equal to square root of u1 u2 by j cot theta by 2, remember. This is for velocity related. Similarly you see same condition, total same. The time after which their displacements are perpendicular to each other. Displacements means total displacement vector. Here s1 bar dot s2 bar is equal to 0. Same that. Just velocity replaced with displacements. That's all. Velocity replaced with displacements. S1 bar dot S2 bar is equal to 0, perpendicular to each other. Okay. Yes. Then after t seconds, what is the displacement actually? S equal to ut minus half gt square. So u1I minus half gt square j. Half gt square j. This is the first displacement after t seconds. Next you see right. Values I am not taking. Next, second displacements S2 is equal to U2I minus half GT square J. According to the condition, S1 bar dot S2 bar is equal to 0, U1I cap minus half GT square J cap dot U2I cap minus half GT square J cap is equal to 0. Now I dot I, J dot J. I 1, U1, U2 minus it will be again. Minus because oppositely projected. U1 and 2 minus U2 minus into minus plus half GT square into half GT square. Here one more you see UT plus half AT square means here T. This one also U2T I cap. Here also U1T I cap. U2T minus U2 into T I cap. Right. So U1 into minus U2 into C. U1T into minus U2T I dot I 1 minus into minus plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 1 by 4 G into G, G square T power 4 is equal to 0. Right. Here what it will be minus U1 U2 T square is equal to minus 1 by 4 G square T power 4. Minus minus gets cancelled. T square here square. So T square we get T square 4 U1 U2 by G. So T is equal to 2 root of u1 u2 by g. T equal to 2 when displacement vectors are perpendicular to each other, time taken to reach the ground 2 into square root u1 u2 by g. Velocity vectors are perpendicular to each other, t equal to square root u1 u2 by g only. Clear? Right. For any angle what it will be again? 2 into square root of u1 u2 by g cot theta by 2. This is for exactly perpendicular. This is for any angle, 2 only extra. For the same data you see u1 equal to 10 meter per second, u2 20 meter per second oppositely projected. Then after how much of time? Their displacement vectors are perpendicular. 2 into square root of 10 into 20 divided by 10. Then t we get 2 into here 10 into root 2 by 10. Then after 2 root 2 seconds, their displacement vectors are perpendicular to each other. After root 2 seconds, their velocity vectors are perpendicular to each other. For any angle, suppose this angle you take 120 degree, cot 120 by 2, cot 60 nothing but 1 by root 3. So this is the generalized formula. Mainly you should remember for velocities related, time t equal to root u1 u2 by g cot theta by 2, velocities related, this is the formula. And displacements related, time t is equal to square root 2 into u1 u2 by g cot theta by 2. That only we derived. Okay, right. So this is projectiles lecture number 6. With this lecture we are completely going to finish projectiles topic. From lecture number 1 to 4 complete discussion about oblique projectile. This lecture number 5 and 6 about horizontal projectiles. So totally in motion in a plane related 2 topics, vectors already we completed, and this projectiles also going to be finished now with this lecture. In the coming lecture we go for the next lesson, next topic. Okay, thank you all of you.